All right. Hey, Lewis and Altura track and field fans. I am here with Mr. Cardinal himself, Joel Ellinghuysen, to talk a little bit about track, see what his background is, and kind of educate you guys on his path through his track and field career. Coach Ellinghuysen, thanks for joining us in your trophy room there that you got going on.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Yeah, I was kind of digging through some stuff, looking for some of my memories, and I came across a lot of stuff in the boxes that I was digging through. So I thought I would just pull out some of the things and set them up for you to take a look at.
Oh, good. Well, hey, starting off, give us a little background on your track and field experience. How'd you get started in it? What was the draw? That kind of thing.
All right. Well, it started a very, very long time ago. But I went out for track and field my freshman year in high school, basically to try to stay in shape for football. Both of my older brothers were out for track and field when they went through high school, and so I thought I'd give it a try. And after my first year, I started to see a little success, and it was enjoying it, and it actually became a very important part of my life. So it kind of took a different path than my first intention was, but it's been something that I've been involved with ever since I was a freshman in high school. So
good. Do you remember any of those events or times or?
Yeah, like I was saying, it was a long time ago. So I graduated high school in 1983. So for me to think back and remember PR, can't do it, sorry. But as I was digging through boxes, I did come across, these are the conference meet results from 1983. So I did see, for that meet, it looks like I long jumped, and I had a jump of 19 feet, 2 inches. That placed me 6th, it looked like, at our conference meet. I triple jumped. And this was interesting because triple jump had just started, I think it was the year before.
Okay.
So you're going to kind of laugh at my results, but this placed me 2nd at the conference meet. I had a jump of 36 feet, 8.5 inches.
Okay.
And first place was 36.10. So we've came a long ways in triple jump. And the other event that I was in was the 300 hurdles. I placed 2nd with a time of 42.32. So, and that was kind of my events that I normally ran. I ran high hurdles, intermediate hurdles, long jump, triple jump, quarter mile in there once in a while, 4x4. We had sprint medley relay back then, so sometimes I would run in that, or 4x1. So those are the events that I was involved in.
There you go.
My favorite events are probably hurdling and the horizontal jumps, triple jump, long jump.
Okay. Who was the coach back then? Was it Mills back then?
Yep. Gary Mills and Gene Stevens were my 2 coaches. And that's one thing that throughout track, so I started with Mills and Stevens when I was a freshman and ended up going through my whole high school career with them. But then I started coaching. I actually started coaching at Lewiston the spring after I graduated from high school. So while I was attending Winona State, I was coaching at Lewiston, so I was able to coach with my former coaches, which was awesome. You have such respect for your coaches when you're in high school. At least I did, and to get to be a coach with them, and the experiences and the things that they taught me and the friendships that grew into was totally awesome. And still, it's awesome to see Coach Mills. Coach Stevens has passed away now, but it was just awesome.
Oh, good, good. Um, as a coach or as an athlete, we talk a lot about meets. Is there a particular practice or maybe a particular workout that just rings in your mind of, yep, that is the tough workout in track and field?
Well, a couple things stick in mind. I mean, there's at one time, Coach Mills, he thought, you know what? I think you can run a half mile, and I'm like, no, I don't think I can. So in a practice,
Sorry,
run up.
real quick. That sounds like a very Coach Mills thing to say to you, by the way, too.
Exactly.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. You know, keep all up, and then so you get all excited, and I went out hard, and when I got done, you know the result. Standing next to the track, it happened, and that was the last time I ever ran a 800. Workouts, you always think back to weather-related workouts that you were involved with. That at the time, I remember we were doing. Can't remember the distances, but it was some type of workout on the track. On a 300s, 400s, 500s, something like that. But it was windy, cold, sleet kind of day. And so we would run a set, and then we'd go into the crow's nest, take a little break, then come back out and do the next set. So those types of workouts stick into your mind. Hey, what would Cardinal track and field be without hills? Probably the toughest workout, but probably one of my favorite workouts mentally, because it was usually something, and as it is still with you, Coach Clark, how you kind of pump it out, and it's going to be a killer, but you get excited, you get mentally ready for it, and you get down there and you get it done, and on your way back, and afterwards, you felt like you accomplished something. And that was one workout that this spring, when Coach Stevens passed away. Sorry. I made a trip down to the hills and did a couple hills in memory of my old coach. So.
That is a special one, that's for sure. Hey, we've been talking a lot about some old memories. As I see, you got the state championship plaque front and center there from '91. Any recent memories from the last few years that really stick out to you?
Yeah, I think looking back to last year, the boys' true team section championship was awesome, and making it to state. That's awesome. Those championships, those are things that stick in your minds. But it's, looking back and thinking about all the years I've been involved with track, it's a lot of the times the big memories that stick with me are the ones that usually when we were the underdogs, and I remember we won conference one year when I was coaching, and as you know, to win our conference is really, really tough. When you have to go against big powerhouses, bigger schools, it's tough just to compete. But one year we had a team, and we didn't have a bunch of superstars, but we thought we had a chance. I remember sitting down at Coach Mills' his kitchen table, and we were penciling everything out. And if you know Coach Mills, he was always on the positive side. Like, I think we can do this, and I think we can do that. And we all as coaches have sat down and ran the numbers. But it was one of those things where I think we can do it. And when we penciled it out, I think we were down. I think we ended up, on paper, we won by 8 points. So it was really close, and that was with kids all coming through. And as one of the memories I remember, one of our triple jumpers coming over and running across the track, and he's like, "Coach, hey, I just jumped my personal best," and that kind of happened all night long. Kids were coming up with PRs, and we ended up winning that conference meet, and that was really exciting. But even recent memories, it's maybe not the championships. Yes, you remember those, but when an athlete gets all excited, they had a great jump or a great time, it's like, that's awesome. It's very rewarding for me as a coach to see them have success.
Mm-hmm.
And to see that the hard work that they put in and all the effort in the off season, the years working up to that pays off for them. So those are the memories that really stick.
Agreed. That is one thing that's nice about track is you can see individual growth like you don't see in every other sport, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Hey, last thing. Obviously, we're in a weird situation right now where we're all kind of trying to figure out the best course of action and how to proceed. And it's weird. We don't get a chance to grow off that team atmosphere and be together. And you talk about some of the camaraderie with coaching, and we don't get that right now with everyone being isolated and having to do our work by ourselves. Any advice, tidbits of information, insight that you'd like to pass on to those track and field athletes?
I think the big thing is to continue to stick with it. Just kind of looking over my life, like I said earlier, I started in track with the intention to stay in shape for another sport. And here I am, 40 years later, still involved with track and field. The biggest thing for me right now, not being at school and being at track practice every night, is getting in that routine. Usually every year I'll start the school year and I'll kind of be in decent shape, and then I start coaching football, and then my workouts start to kind of taper off. And come Christmas time, I'm not in very good shape, and then usually it's like, oh, okay, I got to start getting ready. First thing I think about is, hey, the Fools 5 is coming up in a few months, and I got to start running a little bit to get in it. And then I'm like, well, track and field's coming. I'm not going to be able to keep up at all with these kids this year, and it's getting tougher every year, but it's the routine. For me, I have my remote tech lab set up down in my basement, and I start doing things, and I'm working through things, and it's like, okay, I need to get out. I need to do a little bit of a workout, and then it's just easy to put it off, especially when you don't have that set time where everybody else is counting on you to be there. So mentally tough, we got to stick with it. Get in that routine. Don't let it slip, especially you older kids. You've been doing this for many years. Stay in that routine. Keep that routine. Like I said, track and field, something I've stuck with, ever since I was a freshman. And yeah, definitely I'm not going to go out and run and jump and hurdle like I used to be able to, but to be able to get out and at least go for a jog, take a hike through the woods, get in a routine and keep doing something. So
agreed. So something's better than nothing. And
definitely.
I know even me, the days start to run together and the time starts to run together, and it's kind of this weird Twilight Zone type deal that we're sitting in here. Any other last minute or last things you'd like to share?
As I mentioned earlier, as I was digging through boxes to try to find some of this stuff, and probably the biggest thing that really sticks with me, and probably the message that I would want people to get out of this interview is the memories that I've gained from track and field. I came across this real awesome picture. I don't know if you can see that.
A little higher up. There we go. Yeah. Hey, we still have those hurdles, I think.
They are the same hurdles. I got rid of the socks though. Okay, so a fashion statement there. But over all those years, it's the memories that I have, and it's memories that I still have from when I was in high school, riding the bus to a track meet. We used to go to Elgin all the time for track meets, so things that were said, the things that we did on the bus on the way to the track meet. I remember being at a track meet at Stewartville. We used to go there quite a bit. Tornado warning. So I remember we were out on the track. I think it was the sprint medley relay, getting ready. The sirens started going off, so we all headed into school, and the storm kind of rolled through. I remember going back out on the track. It's, water standing on the track. We get back out there and we go ahead and run. All the coaches that I've met over the years, the coaches that I have coached with, from Mills and Stevens to Clark, Kingsbury, Overing, all of those guys, and the lady coaches too. Coach Gunnarsson now, Coach Girth, Coach Good. You get to meet so many different people because of something that you're involved in. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be, track and field. It's any sport, any activity. But those memories are what stick with you. So because of track and field, basically a route that I took, I have some great memories and have met some great people that have become really close friends and some great mentors over the years. So take advantage of those situations.
All right. Well, hey, thank you very much, Coach Ellinghuysen, for sharing some of your track and field story. Look forward to getting together again soon.
Yeah, that would be awesome.